हरि गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुञ्ज बिहारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवर धारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य अज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखावितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवसादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवते सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय ऑल द assembled devotees की जय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanut Pranam to all of you and welcome to our Bhagavatam class. Today we are starting the new chapter. Um, this chapter is second canto, third chapter. So this is a new chapter. And 1 second, Mataji. Yes, okay. So, okay, wait. Yeah. So this chapter, Sukadeva Goswami is telling Parikshit Maharaj, you asked what a person should do when death is near. So I have answered you. So basically, if you want to, finally know what this chapter is talking, basically, see, if we know that we had only 7 days to live, what would truly matter? That is the mood of this teaching. Okay. So what would really truly matter for a person who is going in next 7 days? So that mood is what is this teaching. That's why Sukadeva Goswami is comparing, contrasting. He's trying to explain, take each yoga and explaining how difficult that yoga is. And why don't you take bhakti? Because bhakti is easy and bhakti is supreme. So this is what Sukadeva Goswami's mood. And he's explaining Parikshit Maharaj. So here, that's what Parikshit Maharaj knew he had only 7 days to live. So he asked, what is the most important duty of a person who is about to die? And Sukadeva Goswami replies by explaining the real purpose of life. Death can come anytime, not only after 7 days. So this is a question not only for the dying king, but it is for all of us. So here in this chapter, basically what we are learning is, uh, like, worship according to your desire. These verses list different demigods and what material blessings they give. Like, for example, like, if someone wants wealth, then worship which demigod is mentioned. And if someone wants beauty, mm, like, they worship celestial beings. And if they want power, they worship others. And long life, they worship others. Like that, heavenly pleasures, they worship moon. So, like that, if someone has material desires, there are many higher beings in the universe who can grant these desires. But then comes the most important thing. If someone desires nothing material, whom should he worship? He should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And also this is teaching about whether a person has material desires, no desires, like, so many desires, or desires liberation, he should still worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No matter what you want, the best path is to worship the Supreme Lord, because demigods give temporary results. Supreme God gives eternal benefit. And if someone, even if someone starts spiritual life with selfish desires, like, he has so many desires and he starts the spiritual life with selfish motives or desires. By worshiping the Lord, by worshiping the Supreme, their heart becomes purified. And how bhakti is, like, even if someone has started other yogas, when will he come to the point of bhakti? When does this happen? How, like, if someone is praying demigods, how does, like, bhakti starts for him? What is the key point? The key point is by association with the pure devotees, one can develop steady attraction for the Lord. And the spiritual growth happens through good company always. And your heart changes by who you spend time with. That's why there is a saying, right? You tell me who is your friend, I tell you what you are. That's what. So, with whom you spend time, your heart changes that way. So, and true knowledge of the Lord, it removes mental disturbance, it brings peace, it is self satisfying, it is beyond material attachment. And spiritual knowledge is not a dry theory, it changes our inner condition. And also, this chapter talks about the importance of hearing about the Lord. And here the sages are asking to hear more about the Lord. King Parikshit was a devotee from childhood. Sukadeva Goswami is also a devotee. And when a conversation happens between two devotees, it is Machitta Madgada Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Kathayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. So naturally, their discussion will be about Lord, and that discussion will end only with the auspicious results. So here also the same thing is happening. So devotee loves to hear and devotee loves to speak about Lord. And also what we learn in this chapter is, of course, time is ticking away. Time is running away. We have got the human body. Half life is already over. And this is very, very rare. This is kind of like, the exam has already started. We are in the exam hall. Paper is in our hand. We started writing the answers. And time is ticking away there. If we don't write the proper answers in the given period of time during that exam time, it will be snatched away. Similarly, human body is like that. It has already started. The start date is already began, and we are going through, and we don't know when the end date is. End date will be there definitely. Whoever take birth has to go. So time is ticking away. Sun rises and sets, decreasing everyone's life, except for those who use time to hear about the Lord. Every day, our lifespan becomes shorter, but time used in spiritual discussion becomes eternal. That way you can, like, in your cosmic balance, you can deposit. It will be eternal. And we also talk about the strong wake up call in this chapter. The verses use strong comparisons like trees to live. Like, you are also living, tree is also living. I'm also living, tree is also living. Animal is also living, I'm also living. Animal is breathing, I'm also breathing. And what is the difference? Yeah, there are some harsh comparisons, which will, of course, these are used by Sukadeva Goswami to wake up. This is like a wake up call. So, what makes a human life special? Hearing about the Lord and serving the Lord. Without spiritual life, ears are like snake holes, tongue is like a frog, head is like a heavy burden, legs are like tree trunks, and heart is like stone. So, all these comparisons will come in this chapter. So, meaning is human life is meant for higher consciousness. Without spiritual awakening, we live only biologically, not spiritually. And next, we also talk about the real spiritual emotion. When chanting the holy name, what happens? Tears may come, hair may stand, heart melts. If not, heart is compared to steel. If this is not happening, it is compared to steel. So spiritual practice should soften the heart. And finally, in the 25th verse, we discuss about the sages want more. The sages are asking Sutta Goswami to continue speaking about these divine topics, because discussing the Lord in devotee association is the highest happiness. So that's what we learn in this chapter. So yes, of course, the this after, like, reading this chapter, the verses gradually move the reader or the listener from material desires to higher worship, to exclusive devotion, to pure love of God. It is a spiritual progression. Okay, from material desires they go to higher worship, which is demigods, and from demigods come to the exclusive devotion, which is Krishna, and then pure love of God, Krishna Bhakti. So that's what we learn here. It's a spiritual progression. So even if you start with the desires, yes, you can still end with devotion, provided we should know how it goes. So, first shloka.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Shri Shuka Uvacha Evam Etan Nigaditam Prishtavan Yad Bhavan Mama Dranam Yan Mriyamananam Manusheshu Manishinam. Translation. Sri Shukadeva Goswami said, Maharaja Parikshit, as you have inquired from me as to the duty of the intelligent man who is on the threshold of death, so I have answered you.
Thank you. Thank you. So here Sukadeva Goswami is saying, O King Parikshit, you asked me what an intelligent person should do when death is near. I now answered your question. Yes, because he has talked about the supremacy of bhakti. So Parikshit Maharaj knew he would die in 7 days. So he asked what is the most important duty of a person who is about to die. And Sukadeva Goswami replied by explaining the highest duty of human life. Now, in the purport, Prabhupada is explaining, most people do not know who they really are. Almost everyone thinks I am this body. Almost everyone thinks I am this mind. This is my mind. And my success is my identity. But actually, Prabhupada is saying we are spirit soul, not the body. And the body is temporary, the soul is eternal. Because people forget this, their life activities become misdirected. Even if someone becomes rich, famous, powerful, or whatever, one day they have to leave everything and go. The more successful they are, the more difficult it will be to leave everything and go. And especially what to think about the, all the rich people in this world and beautiful people and some people, how difficult will it be for them to leave that body and go? So handsome, so beautiful. Will they get that body again? Don't know. So therefore they are so attached to that, they cannot even go from here. So even rich people, very rich, but is there a guarantee that he can have this with him? Can he take it with him? No, he has to leave everything and go. So again he has to start from scratch in the next body. So the more you are successful, the more you have, the more difficult it will be to go from here. So uh, yes, who I am beyond this body, if somebody understands that, then spiritually their life is successful. Otherwise, out of millions, very few inquire about spiritual truth. Even out of them, very few study Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta Sutras. But even after reading also, without guidance from a realized spiritual master, true realization doesn't awaken. What does this mean? This means that, yes, we feel sorry for the people who are doing bhakti since so many years, so many times, but then basic things also sometimes they don't know, what are the basic things, like what Bhagavad Gita is teaching, what are the 5 questions Arjuna asked, what is the purpose of life, what is the purpose of human body. So these questions you should have in mind, and you have to have the answers, because this is how you, you go, and the spirituality is maintained. Spirituality itself started with a question and answer session, right? Our whole spirituality is question and answers. So definitely we have to question ourselves. Why am I living? What is the aim? So that's why Prabhupada is emphasizing this point so many times in the purport. And Prabhupada is also giving the point that human life is rare. It is 8.4 lakh species of life. After that, we got this life. And we cannot be spending this in only eating, mating, sleeping, defending, and not understanding who am I. So that's why the word Manishinam is thoughtful person in this verse. Not all humans are thoughtful. Thoughtful person asks these questions. Who am I? Why am I suffering? What happens to me after death? And what is my eternal purpose? Parikshit Maharaj was such a thoughtful person. That's why he is mentioned here in this verse as Manishinam. So yeah, without addressing all the points what Prabhupada is talking, I cannot go. That's why I'm discussing this, because Prabhupada took so much time to write all this. At least we have to know what he addressed. So Prabhupada is emphasizing engage fully in the hearing about Lord, chanting his holy names, remembering his pastimes, serving him. This is Harikatha, divine topics of the Lord. This is especially important when death approaches. But actually, death can come anytime. So this instruction applies to everyone. That's it's the Prabhupada's message here. Number 2.
ब्रह्मवर्चसकामस्तु यजेत ब्राह्मणापतिम् इन्द्रमिन्द्रियकामस्तु प्रजाकामा प्रजापतीन् देवीं मयान्तु श्रीकामस्तेजस्कामो विभावसुम् वसुकामो वसून् रुद्रान् वीर्यकामोऽध वीर्यवान् अन्नाद्यकामस्त्वदितं स्वदितिं स्वर्गकामोदिते सुतान् विश्वान् देवान् राज्यकामा साध्यान् संसादको विशाम् आयुष्कामोऽस्विनौ देवौ पुष्टिकामा इलां यजेत् प्रतिष्ठाकामपुरुषो रोदसी लोकमातरौ रूपाभिकामो गन्धर्वान् स्त्रीकामोऽस्पर ऊर्वशीम् आधिपत्यकाम सर्वेषां यजेत परमेष्टिनं यज्ञं यजेत्यस्य कामा कोशकामा प्रचेतसं विद्याकामस्तु गिरिशं दाम्पत्यार्धवुमां शतीम्. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. One who desires to be observed in the impersonal Brahma Jyoti effulgence should worship the master of the Vedas, Lord Brahma or Brihaspati, the learned priest. One who desires powerful sex should worship the heavenly King Indra, and one who desires good progeny should worship the great progenitors called the Prajapatis. One who desires good fortune should worship Durga Devi, the superintendent of the material world. One desiring to be very powerful should worship fire, and one who aspires only after money should worship the Vasus. One should worship the Rudra incarnations of Lord Shiva if he wants to be a great hero. One who wants a large stock of grains should worship Aditi. One who desires to attain the heavenly planets should worship the sons of Aditi. One who desires a worldly kingdom should worship Vishwadeva. And one who wants to be popular with the general mass of population should worship the Sadhya demigod. One who desires a long span of life should worship the demigods known as the Ashwini Kumaras. And a person desiring a strongly built body should worship the earth. One who desires stability in his post should worship the horizon and the earth combined. One who desires to be beautiful should worship the beautiful residents of the Gandharva planet. And one who desires a good wife should worship the Apsaras and the Urvasi society or girls of the heavenly kingdom. One who desires domination over others should worship Lord Brahma, the head of the universe. One who desires tangible fame should worship the personality of Godhead. And one who desires a good bank balance should worship the demigod Varuna. If one desires to be a greatly learned man, he should worship Lord Shiva. And if one desires a good material relation, he should worship the chaste goddess Uma, the wife of Lord Shiva. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
One who desires a good marital relation. Mataji. Okay. Okay, so here.
Sorry, Bhakti.
Huh. Okay, so this verse is explaining all the material desires, different departmental heads are there, all these demigods. So, whom should one worship in order to get all these, desires fulfilled? They may worship to fulfill those desires. So many examples are given. Heavenly spiritual light, Brahmajyoti, one should worship Brahma, and sexual power, Indra, good children, Prajapatis, good fortune, Durga, etc., etc., etc. So many. So here, the simple point is different worship gives different material results, but all of these results are temporary. So, in the PowerPoint, Prabhupada is explaining material desires have different paths. A person should be an expert in everything materially. So, by worshipping certain demigods, he may gain power, wealth, fame, beauty, children, position, etc., etc., etc. But all these are temporary gains. And see, example, we can think of so many examples. All around us are so many examples. So, yeah, we can take one example. One famous example is Ravana worshipped Lord Shiva very intensely. He offered his own heads in sacrifice. He became extremely powerful. He has agreed because he was praying Lord Shiva. Even the demigods feared him. But when Lord Rama challenged him and Lord Rama killed him, he was destroyed. So, material power without surrender to the Supreme Lord leads to ruin. Even Lord Shiva could not do anything. So, and also let's say in Bhagavad Gita 7.2 to 7th chapter 20th verse, it says, people whose intelligence is stolen by material desires, they worship demigods. Not because demigods are false, but because their goals are temporary. Why? Because the demigod himself is a temporary person. And his power is temporary. When this material world is gone, demigod is gone. And where is the desire which is fulfilled by him? That is also gone. So the real problems of life are birth, death, old age, disease. Can demigods stop death? No, they cannot. Can science stop death? No, they cannot. So these problems remain. So Bhagavatam is saying focus only on what is eternal. Why are you interested in something for a short period of time? Because human lives is special. Out of 8.4 lakh species, human life is rare. Out of humans, few think deeply. Out of those deep thinkers, very few seek eternal truth. And out of those seekers, even few understand the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's very, very rare. So that's why the importance, Prabhupada is talking about this importance of taking up this seriously. Parikshit knew he would die. He did not try to extend life. He could have done it because he has means. He has he has ways to do, but then he did not do. He could have done so many things, pray for wealth, seek medical miracles. He could have done, but instead he surrendered and heard from Sukadeva Goswami because he is a true intelligent person. So that's why this section is not encouraging demigod worship. It is actually showing people choose their worship according to their desires. If the desire is material, the result is temporary. If the desire is spiritual, the result is eternal. Next one.
Hare Krishna Mataji. धर्मार्थ उत्तम श्लोकां तन्तु तन्वान् पितॄं यजेत् रक्षकामः पुण्यजनान् भोजस्कामो मरुद्गणान्. Translation by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. One should worship Lord Vishnu or his devotee for spiritual advancement in knowledge and for protection of heredity and advancement of a dynasty. One should worship the various demigods. Thank you and Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you. So, one second. Okay. So this verse is talking about the demigod worship. So basically, of course, comparison is also there. So one should worship Lord Vishnu or his devotee for spiritual advancement in knowledge. And if one wants protection of family, lineage, and growth of dynasty, one should worship again various demigods. So if the goal is spiritual growth, self-realization, and liberation, the person should worship Vishnu or Krishna or is pure devotee. That is also fine. Because the moment you catch hold of the devotee will take you to Krishna. Because that's what is the destination of the devotee. So he will also will guide you. But if the goal is family success, strong descendants, nice children, good dynasty, material continuity, yes, demigod worships are so many rituals are recommended in Vedas. That's why we call it as flowery language of Veda, because all the Vedas are prescribing about these rituals. So yes, one can opt for that also. So this is kind of like a menu. All this is provided to us, and free will is also given. You can choose what you want, and Krishna will ensure that you get that because he's a sanctioner. He never forces anybody. So Krishna is not desperate for people. He is a loving father. He provides what everyone wants. So in the purport, of course, Prabhupada is talking about the spiritual goal, which is permanent. The real aim of religion is to connect with the Supreme Lord, to revive our lost relationship with the Lord. And the Supreme Lord can be realized in three stages: Brahman realization, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. And so also Prabhupada is talking about the temporary material goal. If someone wants a strong family line, prosperous children, social success, they may worship Pitaras, forefathers, and various demigods. Because, see, when we do this Shraddha Karma and all that, right? So, what is the benefit of that? The forefathers actually, when they bless all this family, children, everything will be like, if we can have like prosperous children and like long live progeny and all that. So forefathers are capable of giving that blessings. So that's why, some people worship forefathers also, and various demigods are also are worshipped for all this. So such worship can give results. They give results, definitely they do. Why? Because they are also are living entities who are appointed by Krishna for this purpose, and they are doing their job perfectly well. If someone is asking them a desire and they are fulfilling the ritual which is recommended for that demigod, the demigod is bound to give that desire fulfilled. So he will do it. Definitely he will do. But then after giving it, the relation is lost. He doesn't want you anymore. The reason is because he himself is praying Krishna. So this is like, you cannot, once that desire is fulfilled, the relation is gone because nobody wants entanglement. So, but such worship can give results, but these results stay within the material world. And so, the important conclusion of the purport is those who worship demigods may reach the planets of those demigods, but those who realize the Supreme Lord, they reach the Supreme World. The spiritual world is beyond birth and death, and that is the highest perfection. Next one, Mataji.
I can read, Mataji.
Yeah.
राज्यकामो मनुन्देवन् निरुक्तिं त्वा अभिचरन् यजेत् कामकामो यजेत् सोमम् अकामः पुरुषं परम्. One who desires domination over a kingdom or an empire should worship the Manus. One who desires victory over an enemy should worship the demons. And one who desires sense gratification should worship the moon. But one who desires nothing of material enjoyment should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna Mother.
Thank you. So here, okay, the ninth one is also talking about the benefits of worshipping a demigod. So here, one who wants to rule a kingdom, he should worship the Manu. And one who wants victory over enemies, they should worship demons. And one who wants sense enjoyment should worship the moon. But one who desires no material enjoyment should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You might ask me, who is worshipping demons? What is this? That for that part of things, even those kind of worships are also given in Vedas. That's why we read in Srimad Bhagavatam, fifth canto, like there are certain planets like beneath the earth where these people are prayed, and all the tantras, mantras, black magic, all these things when they do, they are sent to that particular worlds. So that is also there. That is also is given in Vedas. So everything is given in the Vedas. But you need to, if you are intelligent, you will pick the right one. That's what all these are mentioned. So here different desires and different types of worships are given. Political power, yes, Manus. Defeat enemies, yes, powerful beings. And enjoyment and pleasure, moon. Freedom from material desires, Supreme Lord. So this is the last one is so sweet and cute. You want freedom from material desires? Yes, worship Supreme Lord. The verse clearly separates material desires from spiritual desirelessness. So Prabhupada is explaining the materialist who is a materialist. He has many desires. He wants enjoyment. He wants power. He wants control over everyone. And he wants success. He wants everybody to praise him. And he seeks blessings from various demigods. Such a person is influenced by material modes. Goodness, passion, and ignorance is always in these three. And according to the Bhagavad Gita, people who run after material desires are not fully in control of their senses. They chase temporary pleasures again and again. Because the more you add fuel to the fire will only grow. It will not subside. So fulfilling the desires is like adding fuel to the fire. Fire is the desires. So that's why Prabhupada is nicely explaining about the liberated person, a transcendentalist. He does not care for material enjoyment. He sees worldly power and pleasure as temporary, desires only spiritual realization. Such a person worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead, especially Krishna. This is called pure devotional service. Naturally, he is intelligent, right? Because see, whether we are suffering, the day duration is 24 hours only. Whether we are happy, still the day's duration is 24 hours, correct? In that case, how does it matter? Yeah, definitely going through the difficult situation is difficult, agreed. But then, in which situation are you calling out to Krishna? Definitely, when we are in difficult times, we call out to Krishna. That's why Kunti is asking for difficulties. She's asking for problems. Reason is because she's like, yeah, I can spend time either happily or I can spend time with a sorrow or not being happy. But in both, when I compare both the situations, the situation where I'm not happy, there I will remember you more and I'm asking for your help. And anything which is connected to Krishna is permanent. That's why intelligent people are not asking for happiness here. That's why. And so the purport strongly rejects the idea that you can worship any demigod and get the same result. This is compared to buying the wrong train ticket. If you want to go to one city, you must buy the correct ticket. Similarly, different worship will give different results. Only worship for the Supreme Lord will guarantee supreme spiritual liberation. Otherwise, praying to some demigod for liberation, not possible. Just like buying a ticket for Mumbai and going in the train for Chennai, it will not go. Similarly, the same thing. So pure devotion means serving the Lord without material desires, without selfish motives, without wanting power, wealth, or even liberation. Just love and service. Yeah, sometimes we might ask, I have some desires which are very much needed for me. Krishna is never denying that fact. But Krishna is catering all the needs. He's saying, don't run anywhere else. Ask me only. Pray Krishna only. Even if you pray Krishna in such a condition, Krishna is still calling that person as a Mahatma only, because he is worshipping Krishna directly. If that desire is workable, or if it is helping you, Krishna will definitely fulfill. He is also capable of giving. In fact, he is the one who is giving the demigods to give to us. So that's why Krishna is emphasizing, don't go anywhere, just to pray the Lord. And so, yeah, we have to gradually reduce these material desires in a practical daily life, slowly come to a point wherein, yeah, if it is needed, definitely you can desire, but then ask only Krishna. Don't go anywhere else. So, and we have to develop awareness of this impermanence. We have to remind ourselves this body is temporary, wealth is temporary, fame is temporary, even relationships are temporary in this life. So this will help, this create awareness of what an impermanent society we are living in. That will make us help, not become negative, not become at the same time, of course, when you say all these things are temporary, the point is not to make us think in a negative way. It is not to become negative, but to become realistic. When you deeply understand impermanence, attachment weakens naturally. And without higher taste, lower desires won't go. So we have to need the spiritual nourishment of chanting properly, and all the hearing and singing, all this should be there. And more importantly, associate with spiritually minded people, because desires spread through association. If you sit with an ambitious materialist, the desires will increase. If you sit with a calm spiritual people, desires will soften. So even listening to spiritual discourses, talks daily, it will change our inner vibration. So that's why practice pause before desire. Like when you are desiring something, when a strong desire comes into mind, first pause and ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? Will this matter at death? Is this necessary or is this ego driven? Will this increase peace for me or will this, increase restlessness for me? This pause before desire will help us. It should. Will this matter in 5 years? Will this matter at death? Is it necessary or is it ego driven? Or will this increase peace or will this increase restlessness for me? So that pause before desire helps. So gradually we have to simplify, not suddenly. Do not force renunciation. Instead, reduce unnecessary consumption slowly. Unnecessary. If it is not needed, better don't go for it. Like that. Avoid comparison culture. Like compare with yourself. Don't compare with others because this is a healthy comparison. Compare yourself from last Ekadashi to this Ekadashi. How much did I change? How much did I increase? Because that way it's a healthy comparison. Don't compare with others. So, and of course, buy what you need, not what boosts ego. So, yes, these things are what we need is definitely needed. But then we have to practice contentment also. Contentment is spiritual strength. So that's why all these tips are given, wherein, we don't have to quit life, instead, work, but then offer results to Lord. Yes, of course, be with the family, love family, but see them as the souls who are given to you and you need to work with them. Money, yes, you don't have to hate money, but then use money for, in a nice purpose, spiritual or charitable, whatever. It helps you go near Krishna. So when activity becomes offering, desires become purified. So these are some tips on, how to lessen this way, and replacement entertainment with upliftment, and all these things. Replace gossip with meaningful discussions. Replace greed with gratitude. Replace envy with appreciation. All this will help. Finally, what we understand is material desire is like a fire. If you feed fuel to it, it grows more and more. But if you redirect the energy wisely, it cools. Spiritual life is not about becoming empty, it is becoming fulfilled and then going in a right direction. I'll stop the class here, Mataji. Any questions, comments, or any points anybody has, please go.
Mataji, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, yes.
Pranam.
Right,
So when I have a question, so actually the question is like there is also like false renunciation and then this detached not having desirelessness, right? Like one is like I mean, sometimes after reading the scriptures, we might feel very inspired, and then things are not going good in life. So we kind of choose, okay, it's not working. A better focus on this thing, and then later stage we can just say, okay, I should have not left that, So that is kind of false renunciation, right? So how to distinguish what would actually, I mean, how to distinguish whether I'm ready to live a simpler life, or I'm just being it's just an idea I'm taking up, like not actually ready for that. So how to understand those things? And then one more question I have, maybe Mataji's, you guys can help me out. So after coming to bhakti, I have become more sensitive, or so that I mean, like contemplation has increased, and so that what happens, even like small thing is it like that people overthink, or like it's just my personal nature that I overthink? Like, is it? I mean, like, because all this knowledge we are not given before, so we are not thinking that much. Life was just going, okay, whatever this everybody is going, but now things are there, and then you think a lot, and then you contemplate whether it is overthinking is a kind of problem, or it's just natural to everyone, to the devotees.
Let me ask you a question to you. When you're saying you're overthinking, is it when you have become sensitive on your part, like if you do any small mistake, you're feeling bad that way, or if anyone is saying anything to you, you've become sensitive? What is the sensitivity?
Mataji, both. Like sometimes when I speak to someone maybe rude way or that is needed, then I feel like I should have not done that. And then also when people say we have read that Trunadapi Suniche Tarorapi Saishnuna. So, and also we understand this is our karma which is coming. It's I mean, you understand before that you did not know all these things. So you are kind of
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll explain.
yeah, please.
So let me answer your second question first, and then I'll answer your first question. Your second question is, you become sensitive after coming into bhakti. What is happening really? Am I going in the right direction or a wrong direction? The answer to this question is, your consciousness is becoming purer when compared to like not coming into bhakti. For example, we can take two scenarios. I take this example all the time, but yeah, maybe I can take a different one, but right now I'm getting that only. See, thing is, when you see on the road, there are so many girls who are half naked and walking, and you see some boys walking behind them. You feel shy when you look at those girls. Oh my God, everything is being seen, and these boys are behind them. I don't know what they are looking at, and these girls are happily walking. You feel that way. But then when you go see, really, these boys are not caring them. They're like, they're in their own world. And in fact, you feel, oh my God, these boys are so good. Even though this girl is like, almost half naked, still that boy is not observing her. So that's, of course, you feel that the boy is not observing. And when you come to ISKCON, and especially in, I mean, I don't know here, but then in India, brahmacharis. When you see the brahmacharis, even the Mataji is fully covered, nicely covered with fully sari and everything. Like she's taking pallu on the head and she's talking to a brahmachari. Brahmachari will run away. He will not even look into her eyes and talk also. He looks down and talk and then he runs away. It makes you feel that am I bad or something that he ran away, or am I exposing something that he ran away? It's not that. The thing is, consciousness becomes purer. For that boy, which I have taken the example, who is on the road and this girl is in front of him and is not looking because he's so used to looking more bad than that. He is not paying attention because he's exposed to so much. That doesn't mean that he is nice and the brahmachari in the ISKCON temple is bad, that he's running away. Here, because he's doing bhakti, for even small things, if he gets distracted, he gets affected. And that's the reason why he's not giving a chance to, that situation to come. And that's why he's running away. So you cannot say, just looking at that, these boys are more corrupt and that boys. You cannot compare like that. The consciousness, when it becomes purer, even if small mistakes happen also, you start thinking about it, you start rectifying it, and you start feeling about it. But then where it should stop also. When it is coming to your situation, behaving with others, yes, all the rules apply to you. You have to feel bad before doing anything wrong. Even with the gestures, if you are making somebody feel bad, definitely think about it and take it back. But when it comes to others, if they are giving that to you and they are making you feel bad, you are not here to judge them. It is between Krishna and them. And by making one thing, what we have to remember is, the moment I feel sad about somebody, or if somebody has hurt my feelings, whatever way, you know how many bad karmas will go away by that feeling sad. So in fact, who is the right person? The person who is giving you more pain is in fact, in one sense, he's very nice. Reason is because he's taking away so many bad karmas of you. So he is your benefactor. You should feel happy about it. I mean, of course, it is difficult, but this is the way to think. If somebody is hurting me, he's helping me. The reason is because he's taking my bad karmas. Who will take, Mataji? Even our mother also won't take. Who is going to take? This person is happily coming, saying things to you, taking all your bad karmas. Be thankful. Give it, nicely give it and send them. So think this way. Did it help the second way? Second question?
Yes, Mataji. It's a whole new perspective. Yeah.
No, he's taking everything. Such a nice person. Who is
Yeah, it
going to
was
do?
difficult, Mataji. Like, especially another question, as I said, that it's being sensitive because previously, when you are not, you are also kind of in rajas mode. You are kind of, operating, especially when you work and then all those things. So it's kind of, but and in that field where everybody is competitive, and now suddenly you became devotee, and now you understand so many things, and you understand. I mean, you somehow, I just became a crybaby. Before that, I was not like that. I was like the lioness, and now suddenly,
That's okay.
my
All the devotees are crybabies, Prerna, so don't
yeah,
worry.
and the heart also melts. Like heart melts. It's everything like
Hmm.
softer. Everything
Yes.
is like
Yeah.
it's a
And
kind of
Krishna
this.
loves you that way. So be like that. Don't worry. You are
Okay,
doing the
Mataji.
right thing. So cry out, especially while chanting, cry more and more and more. because that's what is required and that's what is recommended. Okay.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Your first question was, I forgot. What was that?
False renunciation and
Yeah,
then
false renunciation. It's actually, see, false renunciation, how do you judge? Yeah, you are going according to the time period and circumstance. In your life also, there is a timetable where you have to do certain things at certain age. You should be doing that. For example, if I'm already like crossed 50 and I'm running after a job if I don't have, that is like, pointless. The reason is because Prabhupada is telling that come on, reduce. And if I'm doing more and more, then it is pointless. And if you are in your 20s and you are thinking this, then that is wrong. Because 20s, you have to pursue your career because you need to, that's what is recommended for that age. That's why we have different varnas, different ashramas. In those varnas, what we are supposed to do, the set of duties are given in a certain ashrama. What should we think and what we have to think, how we have to think. The varnas and ashramas are mentioned very clearly. If you are not married in your 20s, yes, you have to give importance to your career. Definitely, yes. But if you are like, later ages, you should not. So that applies everywhere, not just like, if you are looking for a boy to marry or a girl to marry, naturally you have to search for girls and boys. There it's like, if you think that I should not look at other men and you sit, how will someone get married? No, so that is needed. So depending on the varna and ashrama, you have to think properly and like the timeline of the life is also there, right? So according to the timeline of the life and according to your situation, your circumstance, your varna and your ashrama, you're supposed to do certain things you have to do. There you cannot take renunciation and detachment. That is not what scriptures are recommending. Scriptures are recommending do certain things proper at the proper time, and when the time has passed, leave it, detach from it. That's what the scriptures are teaching. Like when the child is small, definitely we have to pay attention. We have to take care of the child. We have to be attached to the child. In fact, Prabhupada, once when Mataji, she had given birth to a new baby and she was supposed to give aarti in the altar. And the baby was crying. She is like, because my spiritual duty is more important, she has put the baby in the cradle, I mean, in the whatever walker, and the baby is crying and she's going still doing. Prabhupada said, stop, take care of the baby. Like, take care, and then you come back, give this service to somebody else. That's what is scriptures are teaching us. At what time, what you're supposed to do, you have to do. But if the same baby, when she grows up, okay, till certain point when she is settled, it's okay. But then afterwards also, if you're still caring and caring and caring, never teaching them responsibility, that is wrong. So you need to know at what time, what you need to do. And that's again comes into the chapter where Varna and Ashrama, time, circumstance, timeline of life. Is that okay? Is that clear?
Yes, Mataji, it's so helpful. Thank you,
Okay.
Mataji.
Sure. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, Mataji. So if there are no other questions or comments, then we'll meet tomorrow.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
I had some doubts and I got that clarification. I just wanted to share. Maybe if someone has that doubt, they may be benefited by that.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Yeah, here why Bhagavatam is talking about different demigod worships. So I was initially thinking why so, but I got a clarity like sometimes our desires are so intense. Instead of living in a denial or trying to be pretentious, as Mataji asked, pretentious sannyasa and all, if it's a genuine desire, seeking even the help of demigods is okay in that scenario, because whatever, even if you worship demigod, it is going to Sarvadeva Namaskaram Keshavam Pratigachati. So even though you are worshipping demigod, it is ultimately going to Krishna, and Krishna also says that I am the one who is bestowing all the desires through the demigod, and don't disturb them if they are in the worship of demigod. And I came to know that when by doing the demigod worship, they come to a stage where it gets ananya and single-mindedness towards that demigod. That's when the switch happens. Then they realize that he sends a guru or he sends some and they move away from demigod worship to totally come towards worshipping only Krishna. This was some of the understandings I have got. Mataji, if there are mistakes, you can correct. And if you think this is the right thinking, I would like to know your comments, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, definitely I agree with you, but then this is not recommended for a person who is already praying Krishna. No needed.
Yeah, of course.
Not needed. Yeah, not
Of
needed.
course. Yep,
Yes,
yep.
if a person who is like nowhere, nothing, something like, which helps
Yes, of
him.
course. We also have that sloka, right, Mataji, in
Correct.
246,
Correct.
where whatever is given through small wells, you
Exactly.
get it in
Yes,
the
Mataji.
big
So
lake.
if a person is already praying Krishna, no, this is
Yes.
not recommended.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a person who is like, just following Varnashrama dharmas and he is a human, he is not an animalistic propensity, he is a human. And in order for him to believe there is a higher authority who has like, capacity to give results, for him this is recommended. Like, go, you pray. There are certain demigods, there are so many, but these are higher powers. So go pray so that like, you keep praying them. One day maybe like you are attached to that demigod and then you are still praying after your desire is not there and you are not asking anything. The best thing that demigod got is Krishna Bhakti, so he'll give you that.
Right. Yes.
So you keep
Yeah.
like, that is also is recommended because it is step by step. That's why Krishna
Yeah.
tells Arjuna, don't disturb these people who are doing demigod worship or who are in the lower modes. Reason is slowly they'll come to me. Why? Because demigods are also like, they are indebted to you the moment you pray them. You have a desire, they'll fulfill. If you don't have a desire, they will give what best they have. And the best what they have is Krishna Bhakti. So that
Right. And no, because this question might arise, why this demigod worship is mentioned at all in Srimad Bhagavatam. I felt that the reason is because of
correct.
Even
person who is at least in the human tendency,
yes,
he can go to a little divinity where he is believing in higher powers. Correct, Mataji.
Right.
That way it's correct. Yeah. Okay. Nice, Mataji. Nice discussion and nice questions. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Let us all meet next week.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you,
Hari Bol.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.